right when everybody's waking up to have their coffee, they'll have a big.
U.S. President Donald Trump will meet with the leaders of Gabon, Guinea-Bissau, Liberia, Mauritania, and Senegal from the 9th to 11th of July. The meeting comes as a surprise, although some analysts have taken it as a continuation of intensifying American diplomatic efforts towards the African continent. Just last month, the White House notably brokered a peace deal between Rwanda and the Democratic Republic of Congo, putting a preliminary end to hostilities and Rwandan-backed rebel groups fighting DRC troops in the east of the country for several months. While a bilateral meeting with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa in May went down with more tensions, with some describing President Trump ambushing the South African leader, the upcoming mini-summit next week is likely to focus mostly on trade relations and commercial opportunities. Plans for a wider U.S.-Africa summit have also been announced for September, although nothing has been confirmed so far from either side. Now, there was an extraordinary Prime Minister's questions in the Commons earlier, which raised its own questions over the future of Rachel Reeves. The Chancellor was visibly upset as she sat next to the Prime Minister, who refused to confirm her job was safe following yesterday's welfare clampdown. Downing Street later insisted Reeves was going nowhere and had not offered to resign, while a spokesperson for the Chancellor said she was upset due to a personal matter.
Mr. Speaker, she's pointing at me. She looks absolutely miserable. Yeah. Labour MPs, yeah, she looks absolutely miserable. Labour MPs, they can point as much as they like. The fact is, Labour MPs are going on the record saying that the Chancellor is toast, and the reality is that she is a human shield for his incompetence. In January, he said that she would be in post till the next election. Will she really?
Prime Minister. Well, she certainly won't. Mr. Speaker, I have to say I'm always cheered up when she asks me questions or responds to a statement, because she always makes a complete mess of it and shows just how unserious and irrelevant they are. But she talks about the black hole. They left a £22 billion black hole in our economy, and we're clearing it up.
Back in the U.S., the Wisconsin Supreme Court has struck down a centuries-old abortion ban, saying newer state laws are in place. The court ruled 4-3 in favor. The statute Wisconsin legislators adopted in 1849 made it a felony for anyone other than the mother or a doctor in a medical emergency to destroy an unborn child. Many have viewed the statute as a near-total ban on abortions. The ban was in effect until 1973, when the Supreme Court Roe v. Wade decision legalized abortion nationwide. Since then, conservatives argued that the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe in 2022 reactivated the ban. Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Cole filed a lawsuit that said restrictions Republican legislators enacted since the ban was enacted trumped the ban. U.S. President Donald Trump says Israel has agreed the necessary conditions to finalize a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza. In a post on Truth Social, President Trump said during the proposed ceasefire, the U.S. would work with all parties to end the war. We have more details in this report.
President Trump says the Qataris and Egyptians, who have mediated very hard for a peaceful resolution of the war in Gaza, are yet to deliver the final proposal. He expressed hope that Hamas will take the deal seriously because, according to him, the war situation will not get better, it will only get worse. Israel hasn't confirmed it has agreed to the conditions of a deal. A Hamas official, Tahir al-Nunu, reportedly said the group is prepared to agree to a proposal with requirements that will lead to a complete end of the war. Israel's Foreign Minister, Gideon Sa'ar, posted on X that the government cabinet is in full support of a framework to release hostages, and the opportunity mustn't be missed. President Trump's announcement of Israel's interest in a peace deal comes before a meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, scheduled for next week. The U.S. president says he would be very firm in the meeting. Israel maintains the conflict can only end when Hamas has been completely dismantled. Hamas, on its part, wants a permanent peace deal and a complete Israeli withdrawal from Gaza. Amid the expression of optimism on the possibility of a ceasefire in Gaza, Israeli raids are continuing. Medics and eyewitnesses say at least 20 Palestinians were killed in an Israeli airstrike on a seafront cafe in Gaza City.
Well, that is world now at the moment. Do note that we'll be bringing you